more about living in the time of the coronavirus epidemic. Samuel Pepys here. When I upload one of these, I have to check a box on whether this is made for kids or not. Had to think about that, but I decided that it was, because all of these things that I write about, the virus, the unemployment, the racial woes, these affect kids right along with the rest of us. We can try to shield them from some of it, the worst of it, but sooner or later they will see and want to know what is going on in times like this, the year 0 CE. And in times like this, it's hard to say what's going on. It's complicated. It's no one simple thing. Indisputably, a lot is going on. We think kids can't possibly understand this. Maybe so. But adults aren't doing so well either. Oh, adults have their notions, but understanding? Nah. What most do is dig in, take a position, and let that pass for understanding. The number of corona victims is precise, but it is also inflated in several ways, and so, as a number, it is really meaningless and misguiding. Yet we go with the numbers every day. That is a charade, and most people are aware of that, but we treat the numbers seriously. Similarly, the number of racial incidents when a white cop causes the death of a black person is exact and shocking. But that number exists in a vacuum. How does it compare with white deaths by cop or black-on-black murders? And in how many of those cases were the cops justified in their actions? It's such a tough call. That Cleveland case haunts me. The cop shoots a 12-year-old kid dead. But the kid was pointing a handgun, a replica, at him. Split-second decision. How many of the cases were at least problematic? That doesn't matter anymore. Now all that matters is the result. And so we arrive at Black Lives Matter. The circumstances do not. It's a flawed way of understanding, but it's what we've got. I can believe that there are racist cops, or cops who have a mean and nasty streak. They like to throw their weight around. And that is not good. It's as bad as the person with mental difficulties who acquires a weapon. That's trouble. I do not believe in systemic racism. In the past, yes, without question or defense, but not now. Unfortunately, poverty and all of its attached ills, including drugs, make it look like the authorities have it in for black people. I don't think that is the case, but I would not make that argument with anyone, because I would come out looking like a fool. This has become a desperate situation in which reason and the extremely awkward and complex network of cause and effect play no part. In effect, like the virus, racism has become a lethal thing. We are sanitizing our hands and sanitizing our history as well. Many statues are being taken down and either destroyed or put into storage because the person had some connection with slavery, and that is enough to damn them, regardless of what else they may have done. Also, many names are being removed from buildings, especially at colleges and universities, for the same reason. As for the Confederate flag, it will be hard to find, maybe on a basement wall. So we can clean up history. If only we could tidy up the present. I think it's wrong. I want to say, yes, terrible things have been done. Maybe it's wrong to honor anyone. but let him who is without sin cast the first stone. While I was walking this morning, I thought of something positive in all of this, and that cheered me. Finding a positive has been difficult lately, unless it's testing positive for the virus. But that's really a negative, right? Of course, in these strange days, in the year 0 CE, a positive is a negative. Of course it is. My positive came to me when I was thinking about the protesters and how, in their protest, they are refusing to be victims. With the virus, millions surrendered their free will to the government, agreeing that they were victims in the epidemic. That goes against all I believe, so I find myself instinctively embracing the protesters until someone sticks a microphone in their face and they say something incredibly stupid. Microphones and bullhorns, they seem to have been invented as magnifiers of stupidity. Forget guns. I think all the bullhorns should be confiscated and destroyed. It's the bullhorns that get us into trouble, that create groupthink, and that can be deadlier than guns. There is another comparison, a lethal weapon in the hands of a person in shaky mental health, and a bullhorn used by someone who is not only corona crazy, but also on fire for the cause of racial justice. I wonder what part of the present will have to be eliminated, sanitized, when the year 0 CE becomes history.